I was talking about the free ridership. We have a free rider when the person doesn't actually review the true benefit that he gets from consuming the good, so that he can enjoy the good even without paying for it at all. So if you have someone like that, that person is called a free rider. And definitely, whenever it comes to provision of public goods, this issue will always be there, because I I know that as soon as the thing is provided for, I can freely enjoy it. So why should I bother to pay? Okay, so individually, it is very rational for people not to pay, but collectively, the whole group, if we all have this individual rational mind of not paying and enjoying it for free, then the thing is not going to be produced at all. You see, if you don't want to pay, I also don't want to pay, then who should pay for it? That's exactly what happens. At times, there are some things that A is expecting B to do it because this is nothing, let B do it. B will also think that, oh, A should do it. Then we all sit down, and then the thing that we expect anybody to do it, nobody does it at all. So these are the main issues with the Lindalian solution. People hide their preferences, and then also the issue of free ridership. People will just try to enjoy it for free. So why does the private sector under provide this public goods? They don't actually provide them. There are cases where they do, but they don't do it up to where they are supposed to do so. It's because of this free rider issue. Now, assuming I want to provide a street light, it has a personal cost there because I'm the only person going to foot that bill, but the benefit is common to all. So if this is the case, even if I want to do it, I might not do it like I'll be doing it for only myself. That is how the human nature is. You see, so because of the free ridership, people don't actually put their resources into the provision of these public goods. You see, if you have this, assuming you have a rubbish container, you buy one for your community, people will be putting their rubbish inside without even thinking about how you take the rubbish back. You see how it is. So if I also realize that this is how people are going to do, then I might not do it at all. That's why the private sector do not actually provide this public goods. But the question is that is it possible for this issue of free is it possible for the issue of this free ridership to stop? How exactly do we overcome it? At times people do provide such public goods, but then they charge fees. Okay, they try to charge some fees so that at least if you try to be a free rider, then you wouldn't get access at all. Look at Zoom Lion. There's something for the whole country, the whole community, but if you don't pay, no one is coming to take your refuse from you. So there are some cases where people are able to come together, provide something, and then if you don't pay something little, you don't enter. So these are some of the examples, like the roads where there will be toll booths and all that. So if you don't pay, you don't enter. Okay, if you don't pay, you don't enter. So what are some of the instances that will likely enable the private sector to overcome this free ridership problem? One is that when some individuals care more than others. So even if you have free riders, there will be some people who care so much that they will just overlook the fact that some people are trying to free ride. Okay, so you do whatever you want to do, but because I care much, I value the thing more than even what you expect, I will just go ahead and then do it. If I know the thing is really important to me, I wouldn't care about what others do. Just go ahead and then as they do. So when it happens like this, the problem of free ridership will be overlooked. Then altruism, okay, where is a belief where people are so much concerned about others, they think about others. So here, when assuming two people are deciding on whether to provide this, and then one person is much concerned about even the benefit that the other person is going to get. So the person is not selfish. Okay, the person is not selfish. So it's not just about what I am going to get, but rather what the others are also going to benefit. So if I'm not thinking about only myself, then why should I free ride? Just let me participate. So when I'm able to participate, at least pay others also come and enjoy. So here you will see that the person is concerned not about the benefit, just the benefit that he's getting. He's concerned about the contributions that he is going to make, but he's also concerned about the total quantity of the good that can be produced so that others, it's possible there will be genuine cases, people who cannot participate in the payment. So people like that who have to come in, and then you try your best to care for those people as well. So pay yours, even if it's possible, you pay more than what how you value the good, so that the others can also benefit from that. Okay, can also benefit from that. All right. Now, most of the times, this are provided for by the government. So how does the private sector? Please, a minute. All right. So we're talking about how the private sector responds to public provision of public goods. So after maybe the state is trying to step in and provide this public goods, how does the private sector respond? We have something called the crowd out. Okay, as the government is trying to produce more, then the private sector will just provide less. If we see that assuming we are living in a neighborhood where the roads are very bad, then we call maybe landlords meeting, and we are deciding, we are still thinking on how to contribute and then construct the road. And just after some few days, we see that the government has started. What are these people going to do? They will just stop. They will just stop thinking about that and allow the government to do that. You see, so as the government is trying to provide more, then you see that the private sector will also try to provide less. It's just natural that this happens. So when it comes to public goods provision, we have contributors and the non-contributors. Those who review a stronger preference, they state higher benefits so that they will actually help in providing this. At times it's because the people are rich, at times maybe the person is altruistic, or maybe they just need it because of a higher demand for the good. They try to contribute. So if the government is able to force people in whichever way that it can, force people in order to be contributors, then you see that we'll have an increase in the provision of public goods. So you just need people who will be willing to offer their help, I mean, concerning the provision of the public good. Okay, but one issue is that we are saying that when the government tries to provide, there's a crowd out. Okay, but what if people care so much about the public good? I love this good. I want people to also enjoy it. So even if the government is trying to provide, it doesn't prevent me from also adding my contribution, so that at least we can get more of that good for the people in the community to also enjoy it. Okay, so and actually on the basis of empirical research, they don't really have much evidence of total crowd out, where as soon as the government tries to provide a public good, then the private sector totally stops providing it. No, it doesn't actually happen like that. Okay, so we don't actually have a single way that people respond to public provision of these goods. It is possible that people might even still provide or contribute towards the good. It's possible they might. We don't know the extent to which people are willing to respond or do contribute towards this. So there will be cases where people will actually go in and still provide. There will be cases where they wouldn't also help the government at all. So now, when we are trying to provide public goods, we are interested in the revelation of the individual's preferences. We need to know the marginal benefits that they get from this. Even if it's going to be a private something, we need to actually know it. Before we get the Lindalian solution, we need to know the true preference or benefit that they get. But these are some of the issues. Okay, how do we actually measure these preferences? Now, the first issue is the preference revelation. We need them to truly review their preferences, but it's even if you take a country like Ghana, it's Africa, it will be very difficult for people to actually review their preferences, since they know that if I do this, if I tell them that I actually put a higher value on this good, they are going to charge me more, then I won't do that. So people will hide the preferences. And then the preference knowledge, assuming, we are just assuming that people are even willing to review their preferences. It's possible they don't even know how to value their benefits. So there's going to be a street light. How do I know how exactly a street light is going to benefit me? There is national defense. What am I actually getting from it? How do I even value it? So that one is another preference aggregation. Look, just assuming you want to provide a public good of nationwide coverage. After you've even gotten the preference, how do you add all these preferences? But you need them before you know how to charge people. So how would the government do that? Is it even possible for you to aggregate all these preferences before you are able to provide whatever quantity that you have to provide and the prices that they have to charge? Okay, so this area is a special area in economics called political economics. They are interested more into learning how the government make policies regarding the best public goods to provide, the quantities to provide, and how those who are being affected by the public good will pay so that the public good can be provided for. Okay, so this is where we'll end today. Okay, so any question or contribution?